Hey guys, Guy Against the Grain here, coming to you with another little talk, thought, inspiration. I try to bring things that are relevant to you guys that I'm going through. And you probably read the caption to this video. It is totally true. This Friday will be the first Friday in quite some time that I will not have a paycheck. And that will actually continue until the middle of January. And I wanted to share with you why I'm not stressed, why I'm not concerned about not having a paycheck for the next month and a half. Before I do that, I wanted to share with you a quote that I think many people would benefit if they contemplated and pondered it. And this is from Kevin O'Leary, and it is, "A salary is the drug they give you to forget your dreams." A salary is the drug they give you to forget your dreams. A lot of us, unfortunately, we're living paycheck to paycheck. Our lifestyles are inflated. We buy things that we really don't need nor can afford. We're living in expensive apartments. We're living in expensive houses. We're driving vehicles, spending $700-800 a month for a depreciating asset, right? This is the American way, unfortunately. And I hope that by the things that I share, you can start doing things a little bit differently. Just to give you a bit of a background on me, my wife, what we're doing at this time, I am a traveling nurse practitioner. So we've been in Western South Dakota since July. Well, this assignment, working for a local hospital system here, was originally supposed to last until the end of December. But as things happen, I found out in middle of September that my assignment would be ending come mid-November. So this is a little bit of a bummer, right? I had some goals that I wanted to hit financially this year that I didn't quite hit, some projections that I wasn't able to quite hit. But fortunately, my wife and I, we have a cushion of savings for these time frames. We have basically 3 to 6 months that we keep in a high yield savings account for when there's an emergency, from when I'm not going to have stable work. We can draw from that. Now, the idea of the goal is to not do that very often. But things happen. Things happen, like assignments that don't last as long as they're meant to last. And so my wife and I, we talked about this. We're going to use these next 5-6 weeks to spend time with family, to enjoy the holidays. We're going to try to find constructive ways to spend our time. We have a family. We have 3 children. So there's plenty of stuff that we can stay busy doing with them. This is not going to be just a vacation where we're sitting on the couch and just vegging out. I can tell you that. I'm just not that kind of a person. But I just share all this with you, not to boast, not to brag, not to say, hey, I've made it or something. But hey, I want to encourage you to try to find ways to live with margin in your life. Try to find ways to cut out unnecessary expenses, to cut down on bills. Maybe there's a ton of subscriptions that you have to media services that you really don't need or use. Cut those down. I think that a lot of people think there's just 1 or 2 ways to go about making decisions on a daily basis, right? You can decide, for example, by more time and preparation to cook more of your meals at home. You can cut eating out in half by doing a lot of this and avoid the expenses of eating out. It's wintertime nearly. So my kids, they needed some upgraded winter gear. Instead of buying those at regular price at any kind of a sporting goods store, I was able to find some great jackets that are gently used on Facebook Marketplace for pennies on the dollar of what you normally spend. There are ways to go about things that you don't have to pay full price, that you can get really good stuff for very inexpensive prices. My wife and I have practiced these principles throughout our marriage. We've not gone out and bought brand new furniture. Most of the stuff we had to furnish our houses have been gently used, but for less than half of what you'd normally pay at a store. We've avoided car payments to a big extent. The 12-year-old van we drive is totally paid for. My truck is paid for. So we're not having money going out every month in payments towards something. The place that we chose to buy our first house in, it was a house that we could afford, that we weren't squeezing ourselves. So we were able to have margin to make improvements to that house, and then to make a return investment after we sold it. So there are ways that you can live, there are ways that you can go about life that create margin in your life. For my wife and I situation, it may not be the exact same way that you can apply these principles, but I hope that by sharing some of these things, I can get you thinking differently. I can get you thinking differently about how you want to live the rest of your life, about how you want to dream, about how you can create more margin in your life so you can eventually make better decisions. You can think and dream about what you want to do with your life. Maybe you're in a job that you love, maybe you're in a job that you don't really love, and you want to find a way to get out of that. By thinking about these daily decisions, these monthly decisions, these decisions we make every year, where we go on vacation, how we spend our money, what we spend, it does add up in how much cushion you have and how much savings you have and how much freedom you have to venture out of a traditional life. Most Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, unfortunately. Most Americans, they can't afford a $1,000 emergency. I don't want that to be the case for you. I want you to have more margin, to think differently about how you approach life. When you start making these decisions, when you start going against the grain, when you start doing things that are not popular, yeah, people are going to question them. People are going to think, well, you're strange and odd. Usually that's a really good thing. You actually want to be different, especially financially in today's society. And so don't take what I'm saying as me saying, hey, I'm better, I made so many better decisions, or I'm bragging. No, take the principles and try to apply them to your life, right? Try to be in a position where you can take a few weeks off. You can take a month off and not worry and not stress about how you're going to buy groceries, about how you're going to provide for your family. So just some things I wanted to get you thinking about. Again, guys, a salary is the drug they give you to forget your dreams. Think differently. Think bigger. Go against the stereotypes and norms of today.